AskReddit by AskReddit moderators. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, US Supreme Court Justice, passed at 87. 5 battles with cancer during her term. Rest in peace. And X200B. Edit. Lol, the dozens of you commenting messaging me saying how her passing is somehow a victory for the Republicans or Trump should take a long, hard look at yourselves. Damn. It's like she had a war with cancer. Seriously though, rip. For those who aren't aware, tonight is the start of the Jewish New Year. There is an old tradition that at this time of year God opens his book. During the days between the New Year and Yom Kippur, Jews pray for atonement and pledge to do better in the following year. And on Yom Kippur God enters the names of those who have truly atoned in the book, and seals it for a year. Those whose names are sealed will live for at least another year. So for someone to die on the very last day of the year means that God judged that person very highly. It's an old story tradition from the Middle Ages and I doubt anyone literally believes this now, but it seems like the perfect ending to her life. This is quite comforting. Thank you. I have had more days off in the last 5 years for coughs and colds than Justice RBGI has had throughout her entire ordeal with cancer. We may never see her like again, a true beacon of honor and fortitude. I hope cancer never fully recovers from being diagnosed with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I look forward to her inevitable critically acclaimed biopic. I'm not American, but I am proud to have shared a planet with her justice. What next? Haven't we had enough for 1 year already? Well, Breyer is 82. It's too bad all we can see in the Supreme Court is the D or R when it shouldn't matter. Justice is no longer blind. Exactly. The cases should be judged on its merits, not down party allegiances. Sadly, that isn't the case. Judges should be independent, not party affiliated. All politics aside, she was an extraordinary human being who did extraordinary things. R.I.P. Justice Ginsburg. I hate how the coverage of this will focus on her replacement rather than on her. It's also disrespectful. She seemed like she lived a fulfilling life. R.I.P. Yeah, a mega thread is probably best for this. R.I.P. to her. On AskReddit? There's a lot of disrespect in this thread, and would it be too unreasonable to have more reverence to this comments in this post? Regardless of what side of the aisle you support, this was an intelligent, resilient, and wise woman. She gave judgments that benefited both sides and fought hard so she could retire peacefully in dignity. 40 years serving from the bench, and she battled cancer 5 times. People, there's no reason to fight her spirit now too. No matter which party you support, you can admire her spirit to show up and deliver sound judgments. Give credit to her will to fight for liberty for all. She was not infallible, she was human. Like you, she made mistakes. It's been 10 years, she served the US well, and I hope she will meet her husband again. R.I.P. Deleted. Deleted. Good luck with that. https://twitter.com/yamish/status/1307120096796700673 close bracket. Why is this in AskReddit? No hate, but curious. It's so the sub doesn't get filled with threads about it. One big one for the discussion that's gonna happen anyways. She's earned her rest. I wish she could have held on a little longer, but this woman fought hard for our rights and endured much on a personal level. R.I.P. Edit. Thank you for the silver. Absolutely the words I wasn't able to put together myself. R.I.P. RBG. Republicans fought tooth and nail to prevent a Supreme Court justice being appointed in an election year 4 years ago. Time to see hypocrisy of the highest order from McConnell. And not a single conservative will care. no matter how far the courts are stacked. He already said, last year I believe, that if a vacancy popped up in 2020 he would fill it. Damn. Cancer needed 5 tries to take her down. It gave her hell but she spat it right back. Her body isn't even cold yet. Mitch McConnell confirms court nominee will get Senate YXP4GCRKCMQPXLWMT3U1XPPJZXQQRP5FU0E. Deleted. As someone not in the US, can someone explain the implications of this and why this is such a big deal? Thanks in advance. Trump will appoint a replacement which will give Republicans a majority in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court justice is a lifetime position, so this will have a big impact for decades. Deleted. Republicans are fine with it because it accomplishes their goals. Democrats are scared of doing the same because the Democratic Party doesn't have a singular platform or set of goals. The right is pretty united in all fuck the left things. With the Republicans having the Senate majority required to seat a new Supreme Court justice, what things could prevent Trump from picking the next justice? Nothing. The left has no cards to play. They can complain, but that's literally it. I have a mixed bag of feelings for Justice Ginsburg, but the largest emotion is definitely gratitude and respect. I am grateful for the trailblazing role she had for women in the legal world. She had such an incredible career, which is saying so much more considering her time. She talked often about being the only female in law school courses. She balanced an incredible career while also giving birth to and raising 2 kids. Those things were virtually unheard of in her day. As an attorney, I've read quite a few of Ginsburg's words over the years. I wasn't a huge fan of much of her legal reasoning, but I very much appreciated the role she played in the court. I sort of felt that she played to polar opposites to Scalia and Thomas, and that all 3 of them would regularly make up legal reasoning to get where they wanted to be politically. She was absolutely necessary in her extreme opposition, especially the past few years. It'll be sad to see her seat likely filled with someone from the opposite extreme. I wish our court hadn't become a political playground of presidents. In my utopian world, we'd figure out a way for justices to be moderate or regularly replaced. Then again, that's a massive pipe dream. While I completely understand how important this is, doesn't this violate the rules due to the lack of a question mark? Asking the real questions. Not in a fucking election year, Mitch, you rat think motherfucker. Mitch has, depending on your political stance, done far more damage than Trump. McConnell is such a piece of shit. I still remember the look on his face and that self-righteous, offended tone in his voice as he explained that it had always been customary and a show of good faith for the outgoing president to not confirm any judges in his last year. McConnell claimed this was why they refused to even have a hearing to even consider Obama's candidate. When I heard Ginsburg passed this morning, my stomach turned. But I still remembered what McConnell said last year, and gave him the benefit of the doubt and calmed my husband by explaining that they don't confirm judges during a president's last year in office. Less than an hour later, Trump had released his list and McConnell had announced he'll be confirming whoever Trump chooses. Ginsburg's body isn't even cold yet. Since there's no question, I'll offer one. Why didn't she retire when Obama was president and Democrats controlled the Senate? She had to retire before 2014 in order to guarantee that a replacement could be named. I consider myself more right-leaning, though I jive closer to the libertarians than Repubs and Dems, but having balance on the SCOTUS is imperative, and it seems that this'll be pushed to the wayside. RIP for the justice. Not an American, but I have always heard her name from the news and such. Now seeing everything she has done. Fuck me, she is a fucking amazing woman. Rest in peace, and condolences to her family and loved ones. Mitch already confirmed they would ram the nominee through. Berg will receive a vote in the Senate. When it would have worked against them, they said it was unethical. Now it's in their favor. It's fine. Who couldn't have seen that happening? 3 SCOTUS picks in one term. Damn. FUCK. His rationale is so fucking despicable. It's different because it's a Republican Senate with a Republican president. The will of the people is sound because we didn't lose in the last election. Fuck you, McConnell. We don't even get to properly mourn a champion of human rights because of you. Everybody needs to vote as soon as early voting starts in your state. No excuses, no crying, no third-party protest votes. My daughters are not growing up in a nightmarish hellscape because you don't like Biden. As conservative as I may be, fuck McConnell. RIP RBG, you fought well. Now it's our turn to continue the fight.